Hi there, it's Brandy Eckroth, and I'm on day 5 of taking down my 150-year-old barn because we're going to be replacing this with a larger metal building that'll make a lot more sense for our construction company. So here's where I'm at. I've got the chicken coop behind me, and we just took down a pretty large willow tree that was blocking out our ability to take down this thing so that when we erect the new building, it'll be able to be erected at a higher space. So today I've basically been tearing out the sheet metal. I'm going to head up onto that very dangerous roof and we're going to check it out. You know, one of the fun things about starting a construction project on a building of this age is the fun things that you find. Like when you're up on a roof and you find out that the actual pillar you think you're standing on is actually no longer connected and holding up the frame. So you got to make a decision whether or not you're willing to make the risk. With construction, it's a lot of danger. But the one thing that you can guarantee is that by the end of the project, you'll have pride in yourself. Okay, as you can see, I got 25% of this roof done here, and we are ready to start tearing out that frame, and then we'll start on the bigger portion of our roof tomorrow. And so tonight we're just going to finish taking down this old rustic frame, and we're going to try to salvage any of the sheet metal that we can, so that way we can really shine it up and make those nice walls, and we'll check it out tomorrow. Okay, so day 7 of the project in take down the 150-year-old barn. So here on our backside, what we're doing is we're going to begin removing this wood. This is fantastic barn wood. It's been aged. It is very strong. And so what I'm going to be using this for, except for the square nails, of course, is probably the mezzanine floors on the interior of the new building. These boards are very solid. They're the best part of the barn. And we're going to try and save this barn wood. So that way we can actually utilize it, and we'll put it in as a part of our subfloors on that mezzanine. So here's what it looks like from the back. Now this lean-to has decided, since we removed those aluminum panels and the sheet metal panels, that it was going to begin to buckle. Well, we were in it, and the good news is that the electrical main breaker was actually attached to this frame. And so, boy, I'm working in here alone carefully. We've had crews that we've gone ahead and told this is not where you're going to be working today. And then as the owner, we're going to just go ahead and take responsibility for it. So here's what we're looking at. We're going to be removing in all of these slats here pretty soon, and just taking it down piece by piece, because the best way to do stuff with these old barns is to just take things one piece by one piece. We've gotten a lot of really great antiques that we've gone ahead and come over and saved, and so that way we're able to start utilizing those either as decorative pieces or just keepsakes. So I'm Brandy Eckroth, and I'll give you an update on maybe day 9. Have a wonderful afternoon. Hi there, we are on day 7 of building the new barn, which means taking down the old one. And so I just want you to see some of the progress that we've made. So far, we have been able to do a pretty major demolition on the chicken coop, on the removal of all of the sheet metal from the roof. This property is coming down, and so as the metal from the roof has been coming down, so too has the frame, because it kind of held everything together. So in this 150-year-old barn here, what we had a couple of side lean-tos, and those were like workshops, and those were on either side. And then we had, the hay storage area, which obviously, as you can see, was coming down. So today I got the electrical capped off. I got the water capped off. We were able to empty out the contents of this old barn. And boy, was it ever a project. So here is what we are now looking at. There goes the old hay loft. And this thing is leaning. So it's very delicate as I'm working in here to try and get the contents out of the barn, slowly but surely. And so we're going to have our work cut out for us. Definitely going to be an auction. This is the continuation of that. Now this side I've left intact, because as you can see, we have really good boards here that are about 18-inch boards. They're holding things together, and so I want to keep that stability, since this is the most stable area of the entire barn was on this lean-to. We're going to keep that intact while we take down some stuff. But we found some really cool antique different saw blades and all these different tools that they used over the last 100 years. We're going to be shining those up and making those decorative and keeping the rust on them. So those are going to be decorating the new shop. I'm Brandy Eckroth, and I'm in a big project this year. Have a wonderful afternoon. Okay, day 10 of tearing down the 100-year-old barn. So what we've gotten done today is that after destabilizing on day 9, we've gone ahead and we've winched out the main frame. And so we are basically down to the main holding wall and then just that back mezzanine, which is barely hanging on by a thread. So what we have here, I'm going to be showing you, is the center portion of that barn, the actual center portion, the old mezzanine, the back wall, the roof. Okay, so that's what we've gotten down. Here we go. So part of that destabilization process that we were doing on day 9 was to get this front of the barn to have enough wiggle room to be destabilized enough to be able to pull down this portion. We knew that back wall wasn't going to go down because I didn't spend the time to remove every board since they were infested with hornets and these crackerjack bees that feel like you got shot once you get stung. So they're still in there. We're taking a break after we cut up all of these frame boards so that we could put them in a trailer today and letting the bees kind of calm down a little bit. We're going to be working on this main back wall. This main back wall is going to go the opposite direction. The opposite direction because that mezzanine we did not remove the rusted roofing from because that roof is very heavy. It was also into 6x1 beams, so they were very well built. But it's going to be too much work to take it apart. So we're going to take it as it is and use a steel cutter to cut through that frame and take it to the dump. So in our attempt to save some of the 100-year-old barn wood, which was really what I wanted to do so that I could use it on our new mezzanine as the floor joist, we're not going to be able to do so because of the infestation of bees. It's just too dangerous. The types of wasps that are up there, just far too dangerous. So we are going to do what we can to just go ahead and slice this thing down with our saws and take it to the dump. Here's our mezzanine hanging by a thread. Now, if the tractors weren't down, I'd knock those posts out with the tractors and just the bucket and go ahead and let this thing fall because the weight of that is definitely enough to pull down this main wall. Well, that's it. I'm Brandy Eckroth, and I'm the trusted name in real estate, and we are tearing down a 100-year-old barn. I look forward to showing you the reconstruction of the project, and talk to you soon. I'm Brandy Eckroth with Berkshire Hathaway Home Services, and I have taken down that 100-year-old barn. So we are on day 11, and I finished up the backhoe this morning and went ahead and took down the remaining portion of the barn. Let's go take a look. So as you can see now, we're just about to the phase of clearing out any of the additional stuff that we're going to be saving from that barn, like the sheet metal and any piping, anything like that that we're going to be using. And that's it. The barn is gone. The barn is officially dirt. Thanks to nice Bobcat over there. That thing took me only 8 hours today to finish out, completely wiping out a third of the barn and getting it all the way hauled to the dumps. 14,000 pounds of wood went today. Kind of an amazing day, but we're going to be doing now the site excavation and making sure that we get ready for our foundation and doing site cleanup next week. And then that will be shipped in and we'll start pouring our foundation. Well, I'm Brandy Eckroth, the trusted name in real estate, and thanks for joining me on Building That Barn. I'm Brandy Eckroth, the trusted name in real estate, and we are on day 12. We are putting in a footing, and I have my gorgeous husband over here, Larry Eckroth. He is building that footing. This is one massive footing because this building is 2-story, and it is a 4,000 square foot building. So here is what these footings look like. Now these things have to be perfect, so they're going to be dug out. We're using that lovely laser leveler over there, so that is going to make sure that the site is appropriate and everything, you know, is going to be a lot more cleaned up when we're done, because we're going to be putting in foundation cloth, so that way we don't have a lot of moisture coming into the building. And it's just a big project, so we're excited, and I'm glad to share it with you. Again, I'm Brandy Eckroth, the trusted name in real estate. Take care. Hi there, I'm Brandy Eckroth, the trusted name in real estate, and we are on day 13 of building that barn. So where we're at today is that we've already gone ahead and we've poured our major footing. So now this is an astronomical footing that you can see. Because we're here in a flood zone, we have poured huge footing. This thing goes down, and it is a total of about 36 inches. This thing is wide enough that you can walk on it like a sidewalk. And then each of those pillar footings are 4x4. Those go up 12 inches above the ground. They go 36 inches into the ground. These are astronomical footings. This should be able to hold any building up for as long as I'll be alive. So the next part of what we're going to be doing is this interior. This interior is going to be the pad, and we're going to clean it out. We're going to get all of the debris out of it. We're going to fluff this dirt up. We're going to level it. And then what's next is we're going to lay in what we call a 6mm water cloth. So we want to make sure that this is watertight. There's no evaporation coming up through our footing, or through our pad rather. And so this is getting all cleaned up today. So anyhow, that's where I'm at. And thanks for joining me on Building That Barn. I'm Brandy Eckroth, the trusted name in real estate. Have a great afternoon. Okay, well, we're working on getting this, and you can see it's a lot more cleaned up. Now what we're going to be doing is grading tomorrow, because we're going to bring in some compaction soil and rock, and then there's going to be a foundation cloth that goes under this to keep moisture out of the building, and we will begin pouring our pad. After the pad is done, the erection begins. All right, I'm Brandy Eckroth, the trusted name in real estate. Make it a great day.